Ring, ding, 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 ring the bell. I found something to agree with Republicans on. Now, I believe they're doing it for politics, but I don't care. John Cornyn, Chuck Grassley, two Republican senators who've never seemed to care about civil liberties before, American rights, all these things. Come on. Too much executive branch power. Republican senators, you caring about that? That's a good one. But now that we're heading towards an election and they want to criticize President Obama, they're like, can you believe how much executive power this guy has? With his kill list. Now, they're right. So let me give you John Cornyn's quote first. This is a very conservative Republican senator from Texas. We're not mere supplicants to the executive branch. We are a co-equal branch of government, so it is insufficient to say, pretty please, Mr. President, pretty please, Mr. Attorney General. Will you please tell us the legal authority by which you claim the authority to kill American citizens abroad? Now, as much as I think John Cornyn is a joke, I think that that statement is 100% correct. He's basically asking, well, actually, Chuck Grassley was asking. Now, John Cornyn is demanding that the president at least share the legal reasoning behind his ability to kill U.S. citizens abroad without a trial. Now, remember, they can just do a drone strike on you. They already have on 3 U.S. citizens in Yemen alone in the last year alone. And some of them are signature strikes. So signature strike is when you don't know who you're bombing, literally. Personality strike is, we know who we're bombing. Signature strike is, I don't know, they look Arab down there, and I think they're mainly males, okay? Now, one of the guys that we killed was a 16-year-old, Abdul Rahman al-Awlaki, and we have never stated why we killed him. We never stated whether we intended to kill him, whether it was an accident, if it was a personality strike, whether it was a signature strike. Just like sad day, he's dead. He was a 16-year-old U.S. citizen, kid from Denver, okay? Now, his dad, they said was on a terrible list, yada, yada, was helping Al-Qaeda. Did they ever present evidence about that? Of course not. They killed him too. But look, at least you can make a case for his dad. It appears that there's some evidence in the public that he was against us. Is that good enough to kill a U.S. citizen? I don't think it's nearly good enough. But to kill his son, a 16-year-old? But President Obama says, not only will I not share who we're killing, why we're killing them, what evidence we have, I won't even share with you the legal memo that explains how we have the legal authority to make that decision. Not only that, I won't even acknowledge that that memo exists. And not only will I not share with the media or the public, I won't even share it with Congress. Oh, come on. That's ridiculous. So now John Cornyn is pretending to care when he never cared under Bush, but okay, I'll take it. And he says you should and you have to produce that memo, at least to members of Congress. Of course, we live in a democracy. Of course the president has to say why he's killing or what is his legal basis for killing U.S. citizens without a trial. Of course he does. Now here's Chuck Grassley from Iowa. We got a license to kill Americans, and we don't know the legal basis for the license to kill Americans because our letters haven't been answered. Again, as much as I might disagree with Grassley on other issues, he's 100% right about that. So, Attorney General Eric Holder, what are you doing here? How are you calling this due process? Every American citizen has a right to due process. How do you explain it? This is the comical way that he explained it.
Due process and judicial process are not one and the same, particularly when it comes to national security. The Constitution guarantees due process. It does not guarantee judicial process.
Oh, it makes my stomach turn every time. What the hell does that mean? Due process is not judicial process. That's exactly what it is. You can't just sit in the executive branch and say, I'm not going to tell Congress why we're doing this. I'm not going to share it with the judiciary. I'm just going to decide to execute people on my own. That would be maybe a monarchy, certainly a totalitarian form of government where the executive decides, oh yeah, me and Bob got together and we decided to execute you. What do you mean? Due process is not judicial process. Of course it is. That's the whole foundation of our Constitution, separation of powers. This is grotesque. Now, Chris Anders, Senior Legislative Counsel for the ACLU, agrees. He makes two really good points here. First, he says, the key committees of Congress don't even know what the legal standard is or how they're applying it. So how can they do meaningful oversight? That's what Congress's job is. They're supposed to do oversight of the executive branch. If the executive branch says, here, you take your oversight and you shove it, okay? We're not going to share with you even are memos explaining why we have the right to do this. Well, of course you can't do oversight. Of course that's unconstitutional. But then Chris makes an even better point. He said, quote, "There's a fundamental due process right to know what it is you can't do in order to avoid getting killed by the order of the president." Now that applies to us. We're U.S. citizens. If we go abroad, we don't know where the line is. I mean, I imagine most of us aren't going to come close to the line, but I'm only imagining. I mean, what did the 16-year-old from Denver do to get close to the line? Does anybody know? No, nobody knows. Did we intend to kill him? We don't know. So could your 16-year-old get killed if you're abroad? The answer is absolutely he could. No, you say, oh, but they wouldn't do it to my 16-year-old. Maybe yes, maybe no. We don't know because they won't tell you who they're killing and why they're killing him and what their legal basis for killing them is. Here's what the president needs to do, and I don't give a damn if he's a Democrat or a Republican or whatever he calls himself, pretending to be a progressive. Get out of here. Okay, no progressive says, yeah, we should do signature strikes where we just indiscriminately kill people without even knowing who the hell they are. And yes, we can do that to U.S. citizens without a hint of evidence or a trial that we share with anybody else. That's the least progressive thing I have ever heard in my life. You have to present that to Congress. And then you have to present that to the public. We have to know why you're executing us.